Hey guys, this is Michael from M Squared Photography, coming here with my very first podcast that I am producing. What I'm going to talk about today is my workflow on how I like to go about editing my photos. I'm not going to tell you in detail what specifically I like to do to each photo, because it just depends on what the concept is and who I'm going to give it to. First thing I like to do is, from whatever you have your photos or wherever I have my photos, is either my hard drive or SD card, plug that into my laptop and open up Lightroom, create a catalog, and from there I select the photos that I want to start editing. With Lightroom, they give you a very, very good way. Let me restart that. Lightroom has a filter system where you can rate all your photos. You can rate them 1 through 5 with stars. You can flag them, picking them which one you want to choose from, or if you're saving it for another time, or if you're just gonna color code them, say, oh, this one's red for, I need to get this done, or this is green where I can relax and, have time to edit this later. So what I like to use is the flag system. The P key is to pick, X key is to, photos that you're not going to edit. If anything, just throw away, because it's not really realistic to go around editing, depending on if you took, let's just say, 200 photos in one photo shoot. You're not going to edit 200 photos unless that's your thing. If you want to do that, you can. But to me, it doesn't make any sense, because that's a lot of time spent, and who's going to want, straight up 200 edited photos, unless you're doing some kind of paid job. If you're just doing this to giving this to somebody else, then you can just, I don't know, it just depends on how you like to do it. What I like to do, and what a lot of people would recommend, just don't edit, all the photos you take, because you're not going to like some of them. But if that's your thing, if you like practicing editing, and you want to edit, 200 of the same shoot, by all means, go ahead. After I select my photos, I go into the development tab, go on through the basic, and adjust my contrast, exposure, highlight, shadow, etc. And then from there, I add my detail. Always add detail to your photo, because depending on if you're posting it on Instagram, or if anything, you should also always add detail, because it gives that little extra pop afterwards. But especially if you're going to post this on Instagram, Instagram has this really dookie compression where it just makes your images lower, the resolution just really trash. If you zoom in on it, you won't get that, fine detail you would have as if you were zooming on it with your editing software. But from there, after I add that detail, I go on to Photoshop. And from Photoshop, I go in, and that's where I adjust my colors. I do my white balancing, my color correction, make sure there's not really any overcast of any specific color. And I do my mask on, depending if I want to, change the color of something or target a specific area of the photo. Photoshop allows, it's stronger than Lightroom to edit photos and whatnot. There's other softwares you can use, like Capture One. I personally use Photoshop because that's what I was introduced to, and with the cloud subscription that the AAU provides, I'm able to use it for free, unlike Capture One, where I'd have to pay $100 for that version. But anyway, from there, I add my mask, select what I want, change whatever. It just depends on what the concept of the photo is, or what exactly is in the photo. And then lastly, add some more detail to your photo. Again, not too much, because you already added some from Instagram, from Lightroom. And then from there, once you add your detail, you save it, and at least I save it, and then that's basically it. Format it for whatever if it's going on the internet or websites, JPEG, if I'm going to print it, TIFF format. That's my little rough overdraft workflow. Just bear with me, please. This is my first podcast, and if you guys enjoyed, please give me some feedback. And thank you.